Now, if you were looking for the Cowboys to possibly add a veteran wide receiver after the James Washington injury for security purposes, you're not in luck. Jerry Jones went out in an interview and was asked about, hey, is there an urgency for the Cowboys to add another receiver? And he said the following, not at all. Let's get these guys the incentive, these young receivers. There's no urgency looking for a veteran receiver. Now, I'm not going to sit here and just berate Jones for such a move and stuff like that, but what I think we do need to have a conversation about is, do we have enough right now? And of course, this conversation point will change as we see more through training camp, but that's going to be the talking point today. Did the Cowboys do enough to really say, we are A-OK? So before we get started, if you guys can like this video, it doesn't take too long to do whatsoever, and it's greatly appreciated, so thank you for that. Subscribe if you are new to get more Dallas Cowboys content as it comes out, and hit the notification bell as well so you don't miss out on new content when it comes out. Now look, as much as I keep getting irritated with the front office, I will tell you this, that I'm not saying that they have to go out immediately and get someone. I'm not going to panic there. What will make me panic, though, is that if we see a lot of these younger guys not really doing well and they stay firm, right? We've talked about adding possibly Odell Beckham Jr., Will Fuller, Emmanuel Sanders, etc. But again, I would say for the Cowboys, if they're going to possibly add a veteran receiver, the sense of urgency is more so you got to hope that these guys don't get signed by another team before you're like, okay, maybe we need to sign someone. Because we saw what happened with Julio Jones. Not saying that the Cowboys needed to go after him per se, but it is important to mention because as we get further and further along, the pool of veteran receivers will diminish. And maybe, just maybe, you're not going to get anybody. Now, does it make sense for the Cowboys to not go after someone? So let's look at the receiving core minus Gallup and Washington because you were kind of banking on James Washington being the gap for Jalen Tolbert to ease in. Now he's going to be in the forefront. So now you have CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Tolbert. Then, I would say outside of that, you have question marks. Okay, so how is Simi Fehoko going to look? TJ Vasher, Turpin, Brown. You see what I'm getting at? It's this idea that it's next man up. The problem is this can go one of two ways. Either you're A-OK and we don't got to worry about things, which I would say there's a 30% chance of that happening, or the more likely possibility is that you really don't have good options and you're kind of screwing yourself, especially when you need to win games early on in the season with tough opponents. Now, I'm not going to sit here and be super doom and gloom. We all know how I get, but the Cowboys just need to approach this as rationally and easily as possible. If you feel that you have enough guys on the roster to hold you down, hey, that's A-OK. But at the same time, if someone else goes down, which again, anything can happen, injuries you can't predict, except for maybe a couple who, we have some injury histories, but the biggest thing is this team needs to be as proactive as possible if things go south. That means if we come to find out that TJ Vasher or Simi Fehoko have been slumping in the camps, which I haven't heard anything in regards to that. I've talked about TJ Vasher. I think he's now going to make the roster at this point. And in terms of Simi Fehoko, haven't heard anything negative thus far. I've heard really good things. It's just we, as a fan base, need to understand where we're at. And, if they're not going to go about getting anybody, okay, but you're going to have to lie in the bed you made if we end up being in a situation where these guys don't pan out. So there is that, and the Cowboys are currently sitting in this position where they think they're fine. I wanted to talk about the kicking situation as well, which is going to be kind of in the same part. However, I'm going to hold off on that because I don't know yet. I want to see if we get through the next day or two with more, issues with the kicking game because it's been very inconsistent. So there is that. But if you made it to the end of this video, you're a real MVP. Thank you so much for that. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on the way out. And also, if you see the middle of your screen, go check the last video if you missed it already. And I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye.